So in my last video, I talked a little bit about my everyday use notebook, where I write down any thoughts or ideas that come to me. It's more of a disposable, use it and abuse it notebook. And I thought in this video I might just talk a little bit about another notebook that I use pretty much on a daily basis, and that is a logbook. And so this is an idea that I stole from Austin Kleon, and I'll link to his original blog post on the logbook below. But I mean, basically what this is, it's not really a diary necessarily. But what it is just jotting down things that happened throughout the day. So like maybe 3 interesting things that happened during your day, just jot those down. It's like 3 highlights. In my family, at dinner time, we still do eat dinner probably 5 days out of the week, sitting around the table as a family. But one of the things that we often do is we talk about, go around the table and say, what was your highlight of the day? And you know, each person kind of names what they thought their most interesting part of their day was, or the part that they most enjoyed. And that's kind of what this logbook is. It's designed to just capture the interesting parts of your day, and then over the days and weeks and months, then it's the interesting parts of your year, right? And so as we get towards the end of the year, you kind of look back in your logbook and you review some of the highlights of your year and remember what you were doing 6 months ago and 9 months ago, and just kind of looking back and reflecting a little bit and making sure that those things are what you want to do in your life. And it's part of kind of choosing to live deliberately, and making sure that you are doing the things that you want to do on a daily basis, and just kind of making sure that as you look back in your logbook, that there wasn't too many days where you were like, well, there just really wasn't that much interesting that happened on those days. And if there is, then now's your time to make a change, right? So maybe as you look back and reflect on these days, what would you change? What would you change for next year, right? What do you want to see in your logbook in the years coming? Are there hobbies you want to pick up? Are there events you want to go to? Are there things you want to do? So a little bit about how I do it personally. And again, I stole this idea from Austin Kleon, and he might do it a little differently, but the way I do it is I have a habit in the TickTick habit tracker. It's a daily habit which just says, did I do my logbook or not? And so when I see that, usually what I try to do is I try to sit down and do my logbook and reflect on the previous day. So today I'm about to sit down and do my logbook, and I'm going to think about, what did I do yesterday? And again, that's another way to reflect back, right? Because during the day, I mean, you're going, you're doing the things that you need to do, but once you've reached tomorrow, once you've reached the next day, it's a little easier to look back and reflect and think about, okay, what happened yesterday? You know, how did the morning go? What did I do at lunchtime? What are the activities that happened throughout the rest of the day, and how did I feel towards the end of the day? And then pick 2 or 3 things to just jot down, really. And as I look through this year, I can see that there's been times where I've spent more time drawing little pictures, and that's another thing that I stole from Austin. He's more of an artist. I am no artist at all, but it is kind of fun to sit down and just think of what would be a little picture that I could draw to represent this particular event or this activity. And so, you know, there's been times where I've spent more time drawing little pictures, and there's been other times where I have basically just jotted down in text what happened. To me, I think it's better, as I look back, it's better to have the pictures, because it just makes it more fun to go back and read through when there is a little picture. For some reason, even though the pictures aren't good, and even though when I do draw a picture, usually the text is a little less, I think there's something about the picture that makes it just a little more fun to go back and review. So a little bit about the notebook itself. Again, this notebook and this style of notebook is something I stole from Austin Kleon. I used the same one he did. And I started this maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I've been using the notebook he suggested since then. But what it is, it's a little pocket-sized moleskin. So just holding up this pen for size. So it's about the height of this pen. It's very small, probably the smallest size notebook you can get, just about. It's a moleskin, and it has it's specific to the year. So this is a 2022 notebook, and it has the day and the date at the top of each page, and so each page is a day. And that's what makes this notebook easy, is that it's already laid out for you on the days, and that each page represents a day. So that's nice. And this year, as we get towards the end of the year, I got to buy a new one. And so I started thinking about, like, would a bigger journal be better for this? It would give me maybe more space to draw those little pictures or write a little more. And so I was thinking about shopping for a larger notebook rather than the pocket size, but when I started thinking about it, I thought, well, I would have a tough time trying to keep up filling the pages of a larger journal. It's sometimes tough for me to fill the pages of this very small journal, and that's what actually makes it doable, is that the pages are so small. And if I do happen to miss two days or 3 days, that I can kind of go back and fill in, even if I don't spend the time to draw the little pictures, I might fill in, some interesting things that happen. So anyways, I think I will stick with the pocket-sized notebook for next year because, it's been working for me for the last several years, and why change something that's working? I think moving to a larger notebook would not be good for this particular use. So anyways, just thought I would share quickly another way I use a physical notebook in my day-to-day routines, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.